Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our regular Saturday night episode of the wonderful, the great, the miraculously written Quran. Tonight we have Mr. Radical Moderate. And then we got Mr. Ed Van Halen, not related to Van Halen. Let's give it up for him. All right, I'm just trying something new. Okay, so let's start with a very short intro before we get started to lose some brain cells. Now, remember, I do have a warning. We're not responsible for you losing brain cells. So don't come and bitch and complain. That is my fault. So let's play the little short intro. Okay, did I not promise a short intro? There you go. All right, let me get this back up. Let me clear that up. Okay, let me blow this bad boy up. All right, so we had left off on chapter 42 and verse 36. And what is the hell is chapter 42? What's it called? The chapter 42? Oh, yeah, the consultation. So we're having a consultation with Allah, and I'm pretty sure we'll get to chapter 43, which is the highly embellished. Oh, wait a minute. Ed, can you tell me what embellished means?
I don't know if I know the Muslim meaning of it.
Okay, give me the real meaning of embellished. What would you say embellished is?
It says, make something more attractive by the addition of decorative details or features.
Yeah, in other words, throw some crap in there that's not really in there to make it make it look more appealing. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I was just looked at that chapter title and I was like, ooh, that's going to be a good one. Okay, so I'm going to have to switch screens. Listen, if anybody wants to come up, the link is on the chat. Just do me a favor, either write something on the YouTube chat or write something in a private chat so either Ed or Rat can see it because I won't be able to see it because I'm in a different screen. So let me go and read it with my beautiful voice. Okay, I'm on the wrong screen. Come on. Okay, 36. So whatever thing you receive, we don't know what that is. So it is the enjoyment in the world's life. And what is with Allah is better and more lasting to those who believe and depend on their Lord. Oh, gotta swallow some egg. All right, 37. And those who avoid the great sins. Now, there's a concept in Islam that I can't really understand. There's great sins and there's little sins. Okay, so like adultery that Muhammad committed would be a small sin according to them. Okay, and those who avoid the great sins and indecencies, and when they are wrathful, they forgive. And those who answer to their Lord and perform the prayer, we don't know what prayer, and whose affairs are by consultation among them, and who spend from what we provided them. Has any of that made any sense? It's almost like three different pieces from three different puzzles. Okay.
I'm still laughing, dude.
And okay, we got the ones that says, and those who answered to their Lord and performed their prayer. I got that. I understand. And then we jump to, and whose affairs are by consultation among them. So you have to make an appointment with who? Allah. And who spend from what we provided them. Not exactly making any, coherency. Hey, Ed, I think Spiritual wants to know what is your team?
Roll Tide.
Okay. I don't know anything about that because I quit sports back in the 90s. Those Dolphins of mine, they just sucked. So I gave up.
Well, that's pro ball.
Oh, okay. You're
I'm
yeah, you're
college.
talking
I'm a
college.
college
So
guy. Yeah.
I guess right now, since I'm in Tennessee, it's go Volt. Which
They're
I
actually
don't
having a
really
pretty
watch.
good year, man.
Yeah, I don't really watch. I'm right down the street from the college.
Yeah.
They just make traffic a pain in my butt.
Yeah, they just beat us this last weekend.
All right, all right. Since we got Brother Paul here, now let's give him an introduction that he deserves. Okay,
Uh,
I'm getting fancy, Paul. I'm getting fancy.
I'm trying to find what chapter are we in? 43?
No, we're in 42, verse 38. We
42.
left off on 36, so we're 38.
Okay, I found
And
42. Okay.
we
Fine.
just figured out that none of this crap still makes any sense. So 38, I had answered. It said, "And those who answer to their Lord and perform their prayer, and whose affairs are by consultation among them," we don't know what that means, "and who spend from what we provided them." So to me, it looks like three different pieces from three different sentences.
Those who answered their Lord and performed the prayer, whose affairs are.
All right, let me pick
It,
yours up.
whose affairs by consult. It doesn't make sense. Those who answered their Lord and performed the prayer, that could be one thing.
Right.
And whose affairs by consultation, that doesn't make any sense.
I know.
It doesn't follow. And this is, we keep talking about the lack of comprehension of this God, and that this is, the only thing I can think of is when I see this kind of stuff, this isn't even Arabic as a second language issue. This is, I mean, this could be, here's another example of where we could be talking TBI. If Muhammad is having seizures, and if he is the quote writer of this stuff, or having a TBI event, that would make sense. Again, we're looking at the chronologically impaired Allah. That would actually explain this, but
Well, I think
this was actually a perfect example of a seizure while writing.
right. Oh,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's Mr. Rad teasing us with his lovely, delicious steaks on the grill.
See, I would agree, Paul, because I think it was definitely written by a
well,
spaz.
well,
Guys,
I'm somebody who has epilepsy, so
guys,
I
guys,
yeah.
guys. Let me interrupt here. Put this on main screen. This is 100% hollow pork chops.
Hold on a second.
100% hollow pork chops right now, dude.
Oh, olive pork
That's
chop.
what I meant.
Let's put that up there.
Okay? Put it on main screen so everybody can see it.
All right,
100% hollow
look at
pork.
look at
Olive
that
pork.
olive pork.
Olive pork. Okay.
All right.
I'm telling you. All right, let's get back to the screen. Okay, yeah, that didn't make sense to me either, Paul. So we're on the same wavelength.
So again, as someone who has epilepsy, I have epilepsy, so I can actually say that, and as someone who has taught and worked in this profession for 20 plus years, this is an example of someone having a seizure while writing, and this actually does another thing as well. It shows multiple seizures within a short time, which means TBI is not only a reality. You would be brain damaged from having multiple seizures if that's what's going on. I mean, I've only had 2 days in my whole life where I had multiple seizures, and they were scary. And I'm not saying this would happen all the time with this person, but it's a scary event, and I just don't. We're seeing that throughout the Quran, though.
Or you could say that this was done by many people, and they just couldn't get the crap together.
Well, unless we get that other event where somebody's carrying a bunch of verses, and they dropped them all, and they had to put them back together again, and they didn't know what to do with this.
Because
Yeah, and the other thing is they didn't even know what epilepsy was then.
yeah.
So, I mean, what were
they would have
doing to
considered
even
it
treat
demonic
that?
possession, which could be another reason
Right.
why Muhammad was accused of being possessed.
So, I mean, that epilepsy going untreated, what is that like?
Well, it's not pretty, and there was no treatment except for the healing by the Lord Jesus up to this point, or by Christians at this point. That Muhammad comes on the scene, and a person with multiple seizures would eventually experience brain damage. After you have these multiple seizures, which is what it is thought that Muhammad had temporal lobe epilepsy, which would explain the hallucinations. And this, sadly, is an explanation. This is one of the reasons this type of verse is one of the explanations that they could give and say this is an example of him having seizures. I don't know, but it's this is where I, as a special educator, I look at this and I talk about seeing the second language issue, and I think it's funny because Kufar verifies it. But
Yeah.
this, I think if you were to show this to a neurologist, he'd probably tell you the same thing.
Probably kick you out of the office. All right, 39. 39 is even funnier. And those who, when a wrong is afflicted on them, they take revenge. I'm not sure what that has to do with the prior verse, but hey.
Well, it's the same issue. See, now this doesn't flow, and this is where we get. I mean, we could explain all the lack of flow through having multiple seizures, and that's those. It doesn't make it. There's not only is there no flow, this doesn't follow, but it would. If we're having multiple seizures, this guy doesn't know what's missing. He may have thought he said everything, but he didn't because he's having those seizures. He's missing time.
All right. And the reward of evil is an evil like it. So whoever pardons and reconciles, so his wage is on Allah.
And again, we have another event here where it doesn't follow. It doesn't. Those who, when a wrong is afflicted on them, they take. I mean, I have a problem with this verse too. Those who, when a wrong is afflicted, it's like it's okay to take revenge. He didn't say anything was wrong with the idea of revenge here. And the reward of evil is an evil like it, which is revenge.
Right.
And so whoever pardons and reconciles, so his wages. So if you forgive someone, it almost sounds like Allah's not happy with you. His wage is on Allah if you forgive someone. The way I read number 40.
And his wage
Yeah,
is on Allah. Okay, so Allah's
Not
left
happy.
in the tab.
Well,
And then-
I mean, if you forgive someone, it sounds like it's not going to make Allah happy from the way I read this.
Yeah, and on top of that, could somebody
And
explain
I almost read this as he doesn't forgive you because you're now unjust because you forgave someone.
I'm sorry, Ed, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was just saying, can somebody explain Islamic justice to me?
I suggest reading Reliance of the Traveler. There's a whole section on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he does not love the unjust. Okay, 41. Because I really want to get to the next chapter because it's funny. The name is really funny. And whoever takes revenge after being wronged. Didn't we just read something about taking revenge? Except he changed from afflicted. Now it's and whoever takes revenge after being wronged. So there is no blame against them. Okay, so Allah says, hey man, that guy slapped you on the right cheek, you can go slap him on the right cheek.
So again, there's nothing wrong with revenge here. This is I have serious issues with this. This is just another demonstration that Allah is not a God that has any concept of love or forgiveness.
And you know what's funny? I was listening into a Muslim room today on Clubhouse, and they were basically saying how Christians are weak and turn the other cheek. And the guy was like, well, if somebody slapped me on my cheek, I'm gonna and I'm like, dude, if you slap me on my right cheek, I'm gonna slap you on the left and the right just to make sure you understand. And they don't understand that Jesus is not telling us to be pacifists.
No, he's telling you only have two cheeks. So you offer them the other cheek, and then you can go to town.
Well, and it's also my understanding. It's also dealing with like insults or civil matters.
Yeah.
Not if somebody's trying to beat the crap out of you. You just sit there and like,
No,
yeah, baby.
you don't sit there and take it. He's. I mean, it's one thing. You have a duty to protect your family. You have a duty to protect your country. You have a duty to protect your where you live, and those are clearly stated in the scriptures. So God doesn't want pacifists. He wants people. That's nowhere in the Bible. The concept is nowhere in the Bible.
I mean, look at Jesus when he comes back. You think he's going to come back as a pacifist? No.
Ooh, no.
I don't want to have
No,
to be on his bad side.
No,
treading
I
the
don't
wine,
either.
treading the wine press is definitely not being a pacifist.
Yeah. All right, 42. Surely the blame is only against those who wrong people and they transgress on the earth without the truth. So, as long as you have the truth, man, you can do whatever you want. They will have a
Oh, you can
painful
do
torment.
everything because Islam doesn't have the truth.
Right.
What does that say?
All right, those will have a painful torment. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
and
'cause
whoever.
Allah should be talking about good news any second because he likes torment.
You know what? I haven't seen good news in a while. All right, 43. And whoever is patient and forgives, surely this is from the courageous resolution. What the hell does that even mean? And whoever Allah leads astray, so he will not have any friend after him. And you
So,
will. Go ahead.
so Allah leads astray.
Yeah,
Interesting.
of course. And it's funny because according to the Quran, uh,
That's what
Satan
Satan does.
causes Satan causes enmity between people. Guess who
Well,
also does that? Allah.
yeah, Allah has. This is one of the. If you can actually go back a little ways and you'll see Usama Dakdak in the Straight Way of Grace ministry he does on his Saturday night broadcast. We did that a couple weeks ago where we talked about Allah is Satan and we just used the Quran. We didn't use the Bible. We used the Quran to point it out.
And I
Oh
also
yeah,
think
that also reminds me. The film that NT did called The Art of Imposture. That's all of Selma Doc translation as well.
Yeah.
and what's funny is I believe I saw a verse, I can't remember what it was. I could probably look for it. Is that there's a verse where I think Satan is telling Allah, because you led me astray, now I'm going to
Yes.
lead people astray.
Yeah, we read that. I think
so
it's not that long ago.
yeah. So as you can see, Allah is the one who led Satan astray. And if it wasn't for Allah doing that, then Satan wouldn't be leading people astray. So everything that happens is we can blame Allah. So Allah, this is your fault that I'm reading your Quran and having a good laugh, or I should say, losing brain cells. Okay, and whoever Allah leads astray, so he will not have any friends. He will not have any friend after him, and you will see the unjust when they see the torment. They say, "Is there a way to turn back?"
I'm kind of curious about this part. Why would you see the unjust when they're having torment? If you're supposed to be in heaven or you're supposed to be on earth, why do you get to watch their torment? What is so important about that to Allah? I mean, the idea of watching someone go through torment is not something that you would find pleasurable unless you're a pretty sick person. But for
Right.
Allah, that's exciting.
Yeah. Allah's probably saying, "No, you see what I
Well,
did
that
to
makes
that guy
sense.
over there?"
If Allah is Satan, then he enjoys watching people be tortured, which we keep seeing throughout his idea of scriptures. But yeah,
Okay. See the torment, and they say, "Is there a way to turn back?" Okay, and you see them exposed to it, humbled from abasement.
so they've been embarrassed. I guess that's the
Yeah.
way to put that. Abasement is like embarrassed. They've been humiliated. I guess sorry, humbled from humiliation is what I would say.
Okay, they will look at it with quick glances. Look
You
at
don't even
what?
know what it is.
I don't know. And those who believed said, surely the losers are those who have lost themselves and their families on the resurrection day. Are not the unjust surely in lasting torment?
So this is a problem. Surely the losers are those who have lost themselves and their families on the resurrection day. This is a horrible, horrible statement against apostasy. They're telling people this is a fear tactic used against people from leaving the concept of leaving Islam. I mean, you lose your family, you lose everything. This is a fear tactic.
And it's true, and your family can sometimes kill you,
Yes.
especially if you're a woman, a female, because I think it happens more to females.
Well, women don't have their own honor, so it does happen.
Yeah.
Their family holds their honor. So under Islam, the women are not allowed to retain their honor. It belongs to the family.
46. And it was not for them to have friends who will help them without Allah, and whoever Allah makes to err, so he has no way. No way for what? Incomplete sentence, Allah. Answer your Lord before a day will come in which it cannot be turned back from Allah. Okay, what am I supposed to answer? I don't know. There will be no place of refuge for you on that day, and you will not have any repudiation. Okay, all right, Allah. So if they turn away, so we did not send you a keeper over them. Okay, your duty is only the delivering. And surely when we caused the human to taste mercy from us, he rejoiced in it. And if evil befalls them because of what their hands have done, so surely the human is infidel. Allah likes to use that term human. Like, well, I guess
He's
when you,
he's
I guess when you're dealing with jinn, you want to distinguish between the two.
he's in love with Shirley.
Yeah, Shirley. I think Shirley dumped him a couple times.
Leah is here.
Your
Oh, you got Leah up. Okay, all right.
your favorite apostle.
I have to go offline for a few seconds, so I'm
Okay.
still here. I'm just gonna be in the background.
No worries. I was saying like you guys were talking about me earlier. And what I
Were your
lost.
ears ringing?
Oh, busted.
Surely human isn't okay. To Allah the kingdom of the heavens and the earth. He creates what he wills. He grants females to whom he wills. Oh ho ho! Allah is a
Hold on
Allah
there.
is Allah is a pimp daddy.
Hold on. I
Okay,
don't like that
and
one.
and he grants males to whom he wills. That doesn't sound.
Wait, what?
That's kind of perverted. What is he? Is he like these? Is he like what do you call it? The
Bachi
madam.
Bachi boys.
He's an escort.
Yeah, and he grants males to whom he wills. Okay, all right. Or he pairs them, males and females. Okay. And he makes whom he wills to be barren. Surely he is knowing mighty.
So evil. No reason.
Let me
So
see.
evil.
We got to get something. Let me see. What can I use for?
You know what's bad is it's the Bible verse. I forgot which one it is, but the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy.
Right.
Here,
Oh yeah.
Allah comes to
Allah
kill,
comes to give
to
you.
steal, and to destroy.
Yeah. All right. I think Allah deserves some laughter.
Yeah, that's how.
All right. He deserves some laughter. I'm moving up, Lay. I'm moving up. Now I got sound effects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Although I can't hear them, so I don't know if they're playing.
You can't even. Well, they're maybe try another one.
You didn't hear the laughter?
I did.
Oh, okay.
You
But
have
I
another
can't
one?
hear any of them. So, where did I leave off? Okay. Okay. 50. Or he pairs them, males and females, and he makes whom he wills to be barren. Surely he is Nanoi and the mighty. Here the following verse. Ooh, I'm almost at the end. Here the following verses contradict the Quran by what Allah did throughout the Quran with Moses, a human, when Allah spoke directly to him without using revelation or from behind a veil or through a messenger. That is right. And in the Bible, God always speaks to his prophets through a vision, through a dream. He never sent Jabril to speak to Moses. And it was not for a human that Allah should speak with him except by revelation or from behind a veil. Or he sends a messenger, so he reveals by his permission what he wills. Surely he is high. Yeah, I'm thinking he is high. He's smoking that good weed and he's not passing it around, ladies and gentlemen. And wise. And likewise, we reveal to you a spirit from our command. I don't know what that spirit is, but I don't want it. You did not know of what is the book, nor the faith. Okay, what book? But we made it light. You made the book light? You know, like light, or a light? We don't know. We guide by it whom we will of our servants. I mean, Allah is such a teaser. And surely you will guide to a straight way, the way of Allah, to whom what is in the heavens and what is on the earth. It is not Allah. Is not to Allah all the affairs return. Okay.
Hey, I just wanted to give you guys an update. The hollow pork chops are sauced and almost ready. So I want to give you
Okay.
an update.
All
That's
right. Let
important.
me switch. Let me switch screens because Mr. Paul stepped away, so you guys can see what I'm reading. And let me switch over here. The next one is very beautiful. We have the chapter of the highly embellished. Now, I asked Brother Ed, what's his definition of embellished? Leah?
So sorry. Embellished in Arabic.
What does embellishment mean, or embellish?
Let me get
I mean,
the.
I know what it means in English.
Well, let me get the Arabic one just to make sure. Hold on.
Does
Give
it
me a
have like a
because the baby was screaming at the same time,
okay?
so I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay. I was wondering, does it have a different meaning? Because everything has a different meaning in Arabic. Up is down, down is up, left is right, good is evil, evil is good. Allah is the crooked man who walks the crooked path to read his crooked book in his crooked house. Now I got to put that up there, and I also got to give it a little laughter. All right, there you go, Darcy. I've made you famous for the night. Okay. Chapter of the highly embellished. Now let me go over here. Okay, no. All right. I wish I could make these icons smaller, but I can't. But that's okay. And what do we start off? HM. Two Arabic words with no meaning. I swear by the clear book. Now, Allah, how can this book be clear when we don't even know what HM means? Didn't he? I mean, it seems like Allah contradicts himself at the very beginning.
Um, here's something. Here's a point of interest. I've been watching the series with Jay Smith and Al Fadi on the origins of the Quran.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, so you're finding that, or they're finding, and there's a book out about it by Gabriel Sama. It talks about the Syriac
Yeah,
of the Quran, right?
right. The Syriac Aramaic origins.
Right. So, um, with the wrong dotting and voweling, this is why you're ending up with all these knee-jerk verses the way they are. They're not making any sense, and
Right.
it looks like that these were actually hymns, Christian hymns,
Right.
right?
Lectionaries, hymns. Now he also did a show with a guy named Odin LaFontaine. He's from
Yeah.
France, and another guy from Germany, which I keep forgetting his name. And that's kind of pretty much the conclusion that they're arriving at. That the prototype, as they say, the proto Quran was actually Aramaic, Christian Aramaic hymns and lectionaries, which would make sense because I think they call, I think they said 25% of the Quran is is what they call dark passages,
Yeah.
meaning that you could only understand them if you translate them using Aramaic. They don't make sense in Arabic, which is kind of weird. So more and more things are coming out that I I think probably within less than 5 years, definitely by 10 years, there's going to be a big shock. That's if the world doesn't implode in the next couple months for what's going on in the rest of the world.
Uh,
So
or
we'll have
that
to see.
may be the reason why
Right.
the world explodes.
Okay, there is an original copy of the Quran that is kept with Allah. Okay.
Doesn't it
Surely
sound
we
like, hey, before we go any farther, doesn't it sound like that's the only one that might actually be accurate if there is such a thing?
no, I'm thinking it's got all the errors because that's where all this stuff came from.
That's true. If Allah's a
I mean,
fake God, then it's going to have even more fake stuff.
I mean, this stuff is supposedly relayed by Jabril from the tablets that are up in there. So Allah's got the tablets. His tablets also have mistakes and abrogations and so forth. So yeah.
Well, I still think that's a good joke. Any God that needs abrogation to help himself, yeah, he can't get it right 99% of the time.
Oh, and did you see the
So
name of the chapter, Paul?
I didn't. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I put my book back up. I'm sorry. 43, the highly embellished.
Yeah. What does embellished mean?
Embellished what?
Okay, I think I heard Leia.
yeah, so there's another place, and I double checked it with the 9th century. That's the closest one I could find. I couldn't find a 7th century lexicon, but the closest is decoration. Um, so either way, both it's 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 like adding to something. It's decorating something. The decoration.
Huh. So he
If
decorated
this
the
verse
Quran.
is a decoration.
Yeah.
Wow, this chapter is a decoration. Wow.
So I get why someone would change it to embellishment, but more so the decoration or the decorated or something like that would be better.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Still the same
I mean,
concept.
in English, it's a little different, and it's not wouldn't look good for Allah. So, but still decorating. How do you decorate the Quran? Do you put
I
like
thought you weren't
mistletoe,
allowed to do those things.
or you put like you
You
put
can't
like I don't know, half a moon or something on it? I mean, this is just.
fire
But I
doesn't
thought it
exist.
was kind of funny that they called it the chapter of embellishments. All right, so let's continue. Surely we made it an Arabic Quran. Perhaps you may understand, but Allah, this is not an Arabic Quran. Oh, and he repeats again. And surely it is in the mother of the book. Ooh, so there's a mother of the book. So who's the father?
Oh, so Shirley is the mother of the book. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sure, and surely it's the mother, and surely it is in the mother of the book with us.
Hey, Kufar, you want to put my version up? You can see the highlights on.
Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, you stepped away and
Sorry.
The mother of the book, according to Islamic scholars, is only Al Fatiha. So
okay.
that's it. That's the only clear verses.
So that's
So
all
what
he
you
has.
say,
And
yeah.
but notice that he says the is in the mother of the book with us. So Allah is using us. He's not using we. He's using us. And then
So
it
who
doesn't
else
make
is with
sense.
him?
And
I
then
thought
it
he didn't have
says,
any partners.
yeah. But it gets even better. And surely it is in the mother of the book with us is high wise. What?
Doesn't make
Somebody
any
is high for sure. And it ain't
Well,
me.
these things I've been told are these are the names for Allah, high, and that you always see on the end. And I think it may have been a form of communication. You end like this, and I just don't think it's very. It may have
I mean,
been
it
an
doesn't make
archaic form of communication to do those
yeah.
kind of things, but it just doesn't
It
make sense.
doesn't make sense to say and the book is what is high. So is the book high?
Well, it sounds like the person who wrote it is high, not
Yeah.
necessarily
Why?
wise.
Number 5, shall we withhold the reminder from you
Oh,
mercifully.
wait. Okay. Allah has somebody with him again. Us, we, Allah is more than one.
Yeah.
Could it be the 300 some odd pagan gods?
360 or 359 plus him makes it. But again,
Yeah.
he doesn't explain what the reminder is. Shall we
Allah
withhold
never
the
knows what the
reminder?
reminder is.
Yeah.
Because
And
he
the
would
royal
clearly
we withhold-
communicate it, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, we got to go to the tafsirs to figure out what the reminder is. Shall we withhold a reminder from you mercifully that you were an extravagant people? What?
How can we be extravagant? I mean, this is a problem because you can't be extravagant unless you have extra. All right. And what are you extravagant about? I mean, do you have extra money? What does that mean? What do you have
don't know.
extra? What do you have to spend? This doesn't make sense.
Now, here's a question.
Although he keeps talking about he keeps wanting payment. I mean,
If there is a mother of the book, who is the father of the book?
that's yeah.
I mean, you can't have a mother. You can't have a mother without a father. I mean,
Yeah, his
Muhammad.
concept of sex with yeah.
It's Muhammad.
And so we don't know who this reminder is. Okay.
So what if the mother's Aisha and the father is Muhammad?
I don't know. Could be. I mean, I have no clue. I mean, I'm reading this, and I'm pretty sure if my son was reading this when he was smaller, and he came across this verse and said, "The mother of the
daddy?
book," he would come to, "Daddy, who's the father of the book?" I'll be like, "I don't
Actually
know."
works. Who's the daddy?
You know, hey, we got to send that book over. We got to send the mother of the book out to Maury Povich so he can do the DNA testing to find out who's the father.
Oh, here you go.
Are not the father. All right, number 6. And how many prophets did we send to the ancients? I don't know. I mean,
He doesn't know. That's
question.
the problem. Is this statement clarifying he doesn't know? This is problematic.
I mean, how would he ask people how many prophets did we send? How are they supposed to know? They didn't send them. He did.
But if Allah doesn't know, he's asking someone else because he doesn't know.
Yeah. That's what it would appear like. You know, for anybody with half a brain would be reading
This next passage is even funnier.
And there never came a prophet to them except they were scoffing at him. He must have picked some bad prophets.
So it sounds like the prophets laughed at Allah, the way this reads. There never came a prophet to them, or the people were just laughing at him.
But you know what? I don't think I've read in the Quran where people scoffed at Isa or the Muslim Jesus. Now, here let's see number 8. So we destroyed those who were stronger than them by annihilation. Annihilation. Who did he destroy?
Who's them?
Where they actually,
I don't know.
I mean, we never find out who was annihilated. They say they did it, but there's never a statement of who was annihilated unless you're looking at imaginary places that never existed, like Aden, what was it? Aden Thamamum or something like that. Yeah, those are the only things they didn't exist.
And the example of the ancients has gone. I don't know what that means.
He's saying that he wiped them out.
Yeah, and if you ask them, we don't know who the them are, who created the heavens and the earth, they will surely say, surely the deer, the knower, created them. Okay.
There's Shirley again. Allah?
Yeah, there's Shirley.
Shirley's out for another day. Maybe Shirley's the mom.
I think Shirley is, she's out there.
Again, Shirley is a statement of not being clear. He's not sure. This is the guy Andrew, perhaps.
Andrew Martin says, rhetorical question, orator's device.
Yeah.
So Allah is an orator. Hey, well, maybe he was in that movie, The 300.
Orator because somebody
or Airplane
listening for them to use the recitation.
I think he was in the movie Airplane.
And somebody forgot to kick him out in midair. Okay. Who has made the earth flat for you? I thought the earth was round. And he has made ways for you in it. No, Allah, we made the ways in it, not you. We built the roads, everything else.
Oh, here's
Perhaps
the
you may
God of
be
perhaps
guided.
again.
Yes. This is a God of surely, maybe, perhaps. I mean, even Moses says, perhaps I'll bring you back a piece of the fire. I don't know. It depends, you know. And who sends down measured water from the heaven? So we
How is he?
raise.
I mean, this is just. Why would they measure water back in this time period? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Maybe because in the desert,
Well,
he's
there's
got
no
to make
desert
sure
at this time,
he's
so
got to he's got to make
these
sure he
guys
doesn't
are
waste.
not clearly not in a desert because they're talking about water coming down.
He doesn't want to make sure that he wastes any water, so he has to measure it. Okay, we can only have 10 liters per acre. Okay, and who sends down the measured water from the heavens? So we raised a dead country to life by it.
It's not a
Like,
desert.
well, he didn't do a good job in Mecca and Medina and Saudi Arabia because it's still a desert.
Oh, so it's still a dead country.
Yeah,
Oh, Allah doesn't like this area.
but look at Israel. What used to be a dead country, now it's really a live country. I mean, it's got vegetation. It's got.
Well, it had that before they came too, because that was what Joshua and Caleb came back and told everybody.
Yeah, but I think they've cultivated certain areas that
It was
didn't have
Caleb.
it
Sorry, it was
before.
Caleb, not Joshua. Yeah.
And who has created all the pairs
Yeah.
and has made for you the ships? There we go again. And the livestock, what you ride on, to sit on their backs. Ooh, I really need to know this.
Well, I'm always confused when I hear him refer to ships because I don't think Allah knows what ships are. Sometimes he's referring to things that travel on the water and livestock together. It just doesn't. It doesn't fit. I don't think Allah's idea of ships are the same thing as what we think he's. I don't know if he knows that word.
Yeah, you should have put it just a comma there and said the ships, the livestock, what you
What you
ride
ride
on,
on? Oh, are
to
you saying
sit
we don't ride on ships? That's
to
why I think
sit
Allah
on.
does not know what the word ships mean.
I guess because you definitely can't sit on their backs. Ships don't have backs. Then remember the grace of your Lord as you sit on it. I'm sitting on the grace, or I'm sitting on what? The animal, the livestock? And say, praise be to him who has made thee subservient to us, and we were not able to do it.
So again, ships to him can be subservient, and this is a problem. Allah doesn't know what ships are.
I mean, ships are an inanimate object. They can't be subservient. You put a ship on the water without a person, and you say, "Hey, come here, come here." It ain't coming to you. I don't even think it. Well,
Well,
maybe
the
a
only thing
cow.
I can think of is this word ships, and this could be another example of the person who is writing this having Arabic as a second language doesn't know the correct word. I mean, what is he talking about? I mean, I have no clue.
Yeah. Okay. So then remember the grace of your Lord as you sit on it. I'm a little concerned. Are we sitting on the grace of Allah, or are we sitting on the livestock? Are we sitting on the ships? I don't know.
Well, Allah isn't clear.
And we are not able to do it. Okay. And surely to our Lord we will return. Okay. And
Okay, we
they
were
made,
not able. Well,
There's
so
Shirley
you're
again.
supposed to be
yeah,
thankful to something you're not able to do.
right. Okay, 15. And they made to him
Wait,
part
hold on. There's another problem here. Listen to this. Praise be to him who has made these subservient to us, and we were not able to do it. Wait a minute. Allah made something subservient to him, but he didn't do it because they couldn't sit down.
No, I gotta say, Paul, that's a little stretch in there, but
Well,
could work.
It says, then remember the grace you sit as you sit on it and say praise to him, and he made you subservient, but they're not able to do it. I mean, right there, what are they not able to do?
That's a good question.
Sit.
Were they not able to? Were
They
they
weren't
not
able to
able to?
sit down.
Or were they not able to create the ships and the livestock?
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
it doesn't say they would create. They were not able to ride on these things.
Okay. 15. And they made to him part of his servants. Don't know what that means. Surely the human is an obvious infidel. Okay.
So
Or
is there
has
another
he?
creator besides Allah?
I don't know, but 16, where did we come up with 16? Or has he taken daughters from what he has created and favored you with the sons? Now, we read this in another chapter, but how did we jump?
This is another example of possible seizures. This is
How did we jump from 15 where it says, and they made to him part of his servants? Surely the human is an obvious infidel. Okay. Or, I mean, this guy
It's
is not
Shirley
sure.
again.
17, we'll skip that mess. And when one of them is given the good news by a parable that the merciful gave, his face becomes blackened and he is grieved. Okay, I don't understand why his face would be
Uh,
blackened.
I'm beginning to believe this book was written by Leslie Nielsen.
Okay, so when one of them is given the good news by a parable, maybe he didn't understand the parable.
well, Allah doesn't know what the word parable means. That's clear.
Or he doesn't
There's
know what
no
the good
place
news
in the
is.
scripture where he understands what. Sorry, in the Islamic concept of scripture that Allah knows what a parable is.
So was the parable so bad that the guy's face became blackened? And why would the guy's
So
face become
whatever a
blackened?
parable is, that whenever Allah mentions parable, he never finishes his story.
Right. There's no conclusion to the story. Well, I try to get Sam Shamoon to come into the show, but I guess not. Or is the one who brought up in adornments who okay, sorry, I'm misreading. I'm doing an Allah. Or is the one who is brought up in adornments, and yet he is not clear in the dispute.
What
The
dispute? What are you
I
arguing
don't know.
about?
And what do the adornments have to do with disputing?
Who is the one who is? I mean, this is where you have to read it. These are, again, these generalizations, or these are epileptic constant seizures. I mean, the lack of clarity. I mean, we could talk about con man language again, because nothing here is clear. It's all generalizations. It's, this is just bad.
Okay, 19. And have they made the angels
They
who
have.
are and they have made I'm telling you, man, I think I've been reading the Quran too long. And they have made the angels who are servants of the merciful females. Have they witnessed their creation?
So servants, angels are servants of
Allah.
females, of the merciful.
No,
Oh, wait,
it's
wait. I'm kind of confused here.
it's
Are these
trying to
merciful
say that the
females?
people are making angels, the angels of Allah, the angels who are servants of Allah, females. So
Doesn't
they're
make
saying
any
that the
sense.
angels are females. So maybe that's how Allah can have a son.
We're
He has to
servants of
get
the
together.
merciful. Well, that's really not clear.
Yeah. Have they witnessed their creation? I don't know.
Really,
Their
can you
testimony.
do you watch your own creation? Think about that. Is Allah that stupid? I'm sorry. This is like a brain dead statement, and we've seen this before. He doesn't seem to understand. You can't see what comes before. It's
I
just
think
sad.
Mr. I think Mr. Andrew here is reading the critical Quran. I think that's where he's getting all his his little notes. Is that what you're doing, Andrew? Is that the critical Quran that Sam has? I guess Sam forgot to come tonight. Oh well,
No,
he
it's
was here early for 2 hours.
It might be from Spencer's. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Robert Spencer that made it. I have it too, but I think
Oh,
Sam
okay.
is sick. That's why he's having a hard time doing his own lives too.
Yeah, the critical
All right.
Quran. Yeah, that's Spencer.
Okay. Their testimony. Okay, their testimony will be written, and they will be asked, And they said, if the merciful had willed, we would not have served them. Served who? The angels? The female angels? They have no knowledge of that. They have no knowledge of that.
We don't know what that is.
Okay.
We don't know what they're being served. We don't know who. I mean, we're not even sure if this is about are these female. I mean, we're not even sure if they're female angels or there were angels serving females. There's not. That's kind of unclear there. Testimony will be written. They will be asked, and they said, if the merciful had willed, I guess it could be a reference to Allah from what we hear, we would not have served them. If the merciful had willed, we would not have. And again, we have Allah referred to as them, another plurality, by others. I don't know if
But I think you're
will,
talking. I think the them here is referring to the angels
if we made the
or
angels
idols,
who were servants of the merciful,
but
have
we
they
don't.
witnessed their creation? We can't witness your creation. Their testimony will be written. That would be okay. The females, or this is this a reference to giving birth? The testimony of those.
I have no clue.
Uh,
All right, they
talk
have no
about
knowledge of that.
talk about clear as mud. I'm sorry, this is bad.
Surely they only lie. Or have we given them a book before
Allah
it?
doesn't know.
I don't know. So they are holding fast to it. I don't know. Yet they said, surely we found our fathers of a nation certain creed. Okay. Our fathers of a certain creed. And surely we are guiding ourselves and their footsteps.
Wait, surely we are guiding ourselves. This is
And now
one
they're
of the
talking
things.
to Shirley.
So according to Allah, He's the one who decides whether he decides if he guides you or not. And if you're guiding yourself, you are not following Allah. And that's because Allah chose not to guide you. Wow.
And likewise, we did not send before you any warner and in a village except that those in luxury in it said, that makes no sense. Surely we found our fathers of a nation, and surely we are following in their footsteps. He said, what if I bring to you with what is more guided than that which you found your fathers on? I don't know what the.
We don't. Again, these are generalities that nobody can understand because there's nothing specific here, which goes back to the concept of con man language. It can mean anything you want it to.
And what does it mean? What we found your fathers on? Were they smoking hashish?
They're laying on a pillow. They're
laying on the pillow.
Are they high? I mean, they're so drunk that what were they on? I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
They said, surely we are infidels in what you have been sent with.
We don't know what they came with.
Who are they talking to? They're talking to
Again,
Muhammad?
this is the con man generalities, and the lack of clarity here just shows Allah is a piss poor communicator.
So I guess 25 would be Allah saying, so we took revenge on them. So look, how was the end of the denial?
Well, he didn't communicate anything to us.
But
and
Allah
he takes revenge on a bunch of people he didn't clearly tell us anything about.
Yeah, but see, I have a problem when Allah says, so look how things ended in the past. How can he tell people to look when
And
they
this
weren't
is, again,
there?
according to Sharia, you cannot testify to anything you do not see. And you can't do that. I mean, so Allah is asking people to bear false witness. Oh, wait, didn't Allah ask someone to commit shirk in the Quran too? Who? Yeah.
All right. The story of Abraham is copied from the Bible and corrupted once again. Actually, this one's a very short one, I think. And when Abraham said to his father and his people, surely I am innocent from what you serve, except who created me. So surely he will guide me. And he made it an enduring word in his descendants Perhaps they may return. Okay. Yet I gave those and their fathers enjoyment until the truth and a plain messenger came to them. So they were having a good
Does
time.
anybody understand anything here?
No.
I don't see any clarity
I'm
here.
not I'm not
We
really
don't know
sure
what
what
the fathers. We don't know what the enjoyment was.
I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to get from this. Is supposed to
Surely
be
I
a
am
story.
innocent from what you serve, except for those,
All right.
except who
So
created me. So surely he will. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and he made an enduring word in his descendants, which leaves out Ishmael,
right.
because they don't ever talk about Ishmael's descendants. They only talk about Isaac's descendants. Oh my
All
God!
right, let's see. Many Arabs believed the Quran was sorcery.
No, I'm with them on that.
And when the truth came to them, they said, "This is sorcery, and surely we are infidels in it." And they said, "Were it not that this Quran had been sent down on some great man of the two cities." What two cities?
Okay, so they're
What great
saying
man?
Allah, if it hadn't gone down to somebody who lived in Mecca, that's what they're trying to say. Some guy who lived, some great person out of Mecca, nobody would have any desire to believe this.
Yeah, but it can't be Mecca because it says some great man
Yep.
of the two cities.
And
Now, is this
that would be Yathrib. I mean, what is the other two great? What is the other city? Because
right?
Yathrib wasn't a
So
big
does
city.
that mean that? So does that mean that this came after Muhammad conquered Mecca? Because before he was just in Mecca.
Well, he starts out in Mecca, then he goes to Yathrib, which later gets renamed Medina.
Yeah, but he was
Um,
in Mecca. But he was in Mecca for 12 years. So this would
do
have
we
to
know
be
which
after
time period this one is written?
31. Let me pull it up. Oh, I was going to say shoot time.
Are we in 31 or 32? Can't
You talk
remember.
about the verse?
No, I'm talking about the chapter.
No, we're in the chapter of the exaltation. I'm sorry, the embellishment,
So,
which I think is 43.
so 43. Where does that fall? Mecca or Mecca, Medina? What is it considered?
I am pulling up my spreadsheet now. Quran. We're in 43, correct? Yeah, 43. Woo! That's still in Mecca, but 43 is actually chapter 63.
So we have a problem here. What is the
Yeah.
other two cities? Because the second city cannot be Medina.
Well,
Or
the second city cannot be. Yeah, it can't be Medina because he hadn't left Mecca yet.
yeah. So what
Now,
is
here's
the
the
other
thing.
city?
I haven't found a really good, reliable source that has the dates for every chapter. So, because like Muslims will say, well, he got half of this in Mecca, then he got half of this in Medina, or three verses in this Mecca chapter were really from Medina.
Yeah.
It's a complete mess.
Well,
I
and,
mean,
and that's
it's a complete mess.
like I keep saying, Allah is chronologically impaired, and that's a sign that he has TBI.
Yeah.
For those
Okay,
who don't know,
32.
that's traumatic brain injury.
So we don't know what these two cities, who this great man is from two cities, and we know this was revealed in Mecca before. It definitely would have been before
That's the
Muhammad.
claim. That's the claim. This is that it's claim. Okay, if we're talking about two cities, and according to this time period, there was no Mecca. According to archaeology, there was no Mecca at this time. What are we talking about? Petra and what?
Well, there would have been a Mecca in this time because remember, this is in the 8th century. By then, Mecca had already been established.
Okay,
We're
but if we're
talking.
talking about the time period when Muhammad came along, we're talking about the 6th century.
Yeah, but you got to understand. Well, no, it would have been the 7th century, Paul, because he didn't become a prophet until 610. So that's 7th century. That's early 7th century.
But there's no Mecca even in the 7th century. It's not until
Well, Mecca wouldn't have been until like late 8th century. But here's the thing: all this stuff was redacted back to the 7th century because we really don't have
Well, if
much
we
from the
go
7th
back,
century.
if we look at, if we're going to talk about Petra, there's another city not too far from Petra. I can't
Yeah.
think of the name of it right now, but I'm pretty sure that's why they said 2 cities, because otherwise this doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Okay, 32. Are they then the distributors of your Lord's mercy? What are these guys selling mercy or something? We who distribute their livelihood among them in the world's life, and we raise some of them above others in degrees, so that some of them may take the others subservient. Sounds like slavery to me. And better is the mercy of your Lord than what they gather. I don't know what that means. I think Allah is talking about slavery in verse 32. All right, let's go to verse 33. And were it not that the people would become one nation, we would have made to those who are infidels and the merciful, to their houses ceilings from silver and stairs on which they ascend.
Okay, here we go. He's having seizures while he's writing. We have made to those who are infidels and the merciful. Okay, we got that passage. Then you've got to their houses ceilings from silver and stairs on which they ascend, which again doesn't, there's no, you got, and were it not for the people who would become one nation, it this, none of this has flow and none of it makes any sense. This is evidence
Okay,
of, again, multiple
now,
seasons.
now in Mecca and Medina, where did they have houses that had stairs? Because these people were Bedouins. They lived in tents. They had stairs and floors in those tents.
Well, the belief that Mecca was an established city would say they could have, that's the belief. We know it's not true, unfortunately.
But this is so confusing. Were it not that the people would become one nation. So this is saying the people are going to become one nation, right?
This is probably one of the passages that was used to promote pan-Islamism back in
Okay.
the 50s and 60s. Yeah.
We would have made to those who are infidels and the merciful. How can you be infidels and the merciful? I thought Allah didn't like infidels. I mean, the merciful is always a reference to Allah, and their houses would have had ceilings from silver and stairs
This is, it's
on
just,
which they
it doesn't
ascend.
make any sense. I just look at this, doesn't make any sense. Were not the people that would be, were it not that the people would become one nation, we would have made to those who are infidels. It doesn't make any sense. To their houses ceilings from silver and stairs. What is silver? What is this about silver and stairs? I think it's just, this makes more sense if you're looking at a guy who's having temporal lobe seizures and he's hallucinating.
I don't know. Let's go to 34. And to their houses doors and beds that they recline on, and
Again,
highly embellished, and all of that are merely the enjoyment of the world's life, and the hereafter with your Lord to the fear of. Okay. And who turns away from the remembrance of the merciful, we will bind a Satan to him, so he will be a companion to him. But I thought Allah said you can't have any friends. But yet he's making Satan friends. I thought infidels would not have any friends
and
because
thus
Allah would not be their friends. They
Allah
wouldn't let
sent
Allah, they
Allah
wouldn't let
sent
Allah
you to
ride the
Satan
bike,
to
so
have a friend. Wow.
they wouldn't let Allah ride their
Wait a
bike. So
minute.
Allah said,
I want you to think about this. I mean, this is not a loving God. This is a God who hates. We will bind.
I think Allah understands that the enemy of my enemy is a friend a little too seriously.
Okay, Samuel saying you guys have a link. I don't know. A link to what?
What are we talking?
StreamYard.
Oh, yeah, it's there somewhere, but let me put it again. That's not it. Link to my video.
I can send it to him if you want.
Hold on a second. I got it. I think I got it. All right, there you go. All right, let me go back and beat up some more of my brain cells into the houses. Okay. All right, 36. And who turns away from the remembrance of the merciful? And we will bind him. We will bind a Satan to him, so he will be a companion to him.
A companion is a friend, isn't it?
Sure is. Last I checked, the companion is a friend. Like my dog's my companion. She's my friend. She's my four-legged friend. And my pain in my butt. And surely they will prevent them from the way. So Allah is going to purposely give you a Satan to keep you from the right way. And they will
So
think that
isn't
they
that
are
something that
guided.
Satan does? He does. So he thinks Satan needs help, but God, Allah's already told us He won't guide us. So why did He give us a friend?
Well, yeah, but he's given a friend that's going to guide you out of the straight path. So Allah's not going to guide you, but he's going to make sure that you're definitely misguided. So he's going to give you your own personal Satan. How about that?
Hey,
All right,
I'm
and
okay
surely,
with it because I don't want anything to do with him.
and surely, hold on a sec. Oh, that's Sam. Hey, Sam, I didn't recognize that. Welcome. You're about an hour too late, but that's okay. Better late than never.
Yeah, because I was stuck in the black bar room talking about apostasy in Islam,
Oh,
and I realized I was wasting my time. So,
Well,
but
I
I
mean, if you
had
go,
a lot of Muslims were there, and
darn it.
yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna waste
none
time,
of them read their Quran because according to them, there's nothing in the Quran that says killing apostate is permissible.
oh, that was the
Yeah,
room. I
yeah.
was in there for a bit just before I came here. Okay, so you're gonna get Allah's gonna give you your own personal Satan, so he will guide you astray. And then 37, and surely they will prevent them from the way. Okay, so this personal Satan, your companion, is gonna keep you from the way, and they will think that they are guided. Until when he comes to us, he said, "Oh, would that between me and you there is a distance of two easts, so evil is the companion." Okay, what the hell's that? What the hell's
does
that?
Allah not know there is? Does he think there's an exact? There are two locations called East.
Well, he does refer to two easts, but I don't understand what does that mean. Or would that between me and you? Who's me and who's you?
So no,
And
but
Muhammad and his sock
um,
puppet.
Andrew says. Mo admits the truth of his own position. Freudian story.
Possession.
Yeah. Which verse
Yeah,
was that?
that's why I say Allah and his sock puppet, or Muhammad and his sock puppet. This
Yeah.
is yeah, pretty much demonic possession.
No, but which verse was it? Because I came in late, so I didn't caught that one.
I think that was verse
38.
36.
38.
All right.
When we just read.
Yeah, the one about the Satan, you get your own personal Satan, starts in 36.
Yeah.
And the Satan is going to keep you from the straight way. And then when they come to us, again, this is Allah using us.
You know,
He
I gotta
said,
laugh because if Allah is Satan, he's giving each one of us who don't follow him part of himself.
right. So Satan, well, here's the thing. In Islam, there are many Satans. There isn't just one. I mean, there's Satans left and right. That's why we find that Satan sleeps in your nose and pees in your ear, because there's so many Satans that they can sleep in your ear. Otherwise, then Satan is
Well,
omnipresent.
it sounds like that Satan has more presence than Allah because I mean they give Satan the ability to be omnipresent.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's either that's my point. It's either Satan is omnipresent, or there's millions of little Satans running around.
Well, they believe in a lot of little gods, so yeah.
Yeah, why not believe in lots of little Satans? Okay, so let's go back over here. 39. Okay, so evil. Okay, or would that between me and you there is a distance of two easts? We don't know what that is. I'm not aware of two easts. Wouldn't even know what the distance is. So evil is the companion. Okay. And it will not profit you today if you have been unjust, that you will be partners in the torment.
Allah likes
Okay.
torment.
Does that mean that you're going to be in hell with your little Satan? Both of you guys are going to be in hell? Are you able to make the deaf to hear or guide the blind and him who was in obvious error? I don't know.
Allah does not like deaf people or blind people.
No, he's very, you know. So when we take you, so surely we will take revenge on them. Okay, I do not understand that.
What's the purpose of revenge here? I mean, what
But
crime did they commit?
but,
I mean,
but who is he going to take revenge on?
that's what
The
I'm getting at.
blind, the blind and the deaf.
Are you able to make the deaf to hear or the guide the blind? And him who is an obvious error, when we take you, so we will take revenge on you. There's no, this is again the generalities of con man language. We can't tell who they're talking about. We're back in obvious con man language. There's just nothing here that is anything. There's nothing specific here.
Okay, Andrew says the distance of the two east is the summer and winter equinoxes.
Wow.
But that's still problematic for Allah.
Remember, Allah thinks the world's flat.
Yeah, that is true. You never hear Allah says, "I am the Lord of the North and the South." And just in case you guys are thinking about it, don't think about it. I already own that. I am the Lord of the North and the South. When I die, you can inherit it because I am the best. I am the best of the inheritors, or so says Allah.
Who you inherited from?
All right.
Don't forget, Allah needs to inherit.
That's right. Okay, so evil is the companion, and it will not profit you today if you have been unjust, and you will be partners in torment. Are you able to? Oh, we did that already. So when we take you, surely we will take revenge on them. We don't know who the them is, or we will show you what we promised them.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
It sounds like a threat.
I'm not thinking it's a good thing. So surely we have might over them. Okay. So cling to that which has been revealed to you.
Nothing was revealed. It was not clear.
I know.
I mean, it says here, okay, it just said, or we will show you what we promised them. So cling to what was revealed. Nothing. Nothing. Allah doesn't know that he doesn't know. That's scary.
Yeah. So cling to that which has been revealed to you. Surely you are on the straight way, and surely it is a reminder to you and to your people, and you will be asked. Asked what?
We don't know what the reminder is because he wasn't clear.
I mean, I don't know. Now, I know Muslims will tell you the reminder is the Quran, but how can it be the Quran when the Quran doesn't exist? He's still getting revelations. This is what chapter did I say this was? Chapter 43?
43, yeah.
Yeah, which is chapter 63, okay, or 43, 63. So it's 20 chapter differences. So I don't get it. Okay, and reveal to you, ask those. Okay, and ask those whom we sent before you of our messengers. Okay, but wait a minute. How can you ask people Okay, ask those whom we sent before you of our messengers. But those people would be dead. I mean, there hasn't been a messenger supposedly between Isa and Muhammad for 600 years. So how are you going to ask people that haven't had a messenger for 600 years? Ask those about the people. Oh, okay, I don't know.
Ask them.
Did we make?
Those whom we sent before. It doesn't make any sense. And this is, again, con man language, because it's generalities, and you can take this any way you want.
Did we make without the merciful gods to be served? I have no freaking clue. All right.
Wait. Who's talking there? Is that Allah talking there? Did we make without?
It's got to be Allah.
So if
Muhammad would
Allah is
never
talking
say.
here, Allah is making gods to be served. Am I correct?
I would think so.
But no, wait, ask those whom we sent before you of our messengers.
Okay, so maybe
So the
he's.
question is, so he's asking people this question: did we make without merciful? Oh my gosh, he's telling them to say it. No, he's telling people to ask them.
Yeah.
Did
So
Allah make without them? Did we? We don't know who the we is. This is really a mess. I mean, this is
and there's
beyond
no
the scope of Arabic as a second language. This is a mess.
there's no say. So this is all Allah speaking, which makes no sense. Okay, the story of Moses and Pharaoh is copied from the Bible and corrupted once again. Why am I not surprised? I don't know. All right, and indeed we sent Moses with our signs to Pharaoh and his leaders. So he said, surely I am the messenger of the Lord of the worlds. Oh, this is another one that they didn't pick up on that thing that I did earlier today. So when he came to them with our signs, behold, they laughed at him. Oh, I'm surprised Allah didn't say scoffed. And we did not show them any sign, but one bigger than its sister.
What? If you don't show them a sign, then you don't have something bigger than something else.
I don't get this, buddy. He's missing a lot of the story because, okay, so.
This could be another seizure he's having. I mean, and we did not show them any sign, but we seized them. This could be more evidence of multiple seizures. And remember, I'm the guy who has epilepsy, so I know what I'm talking about. It's just, yeah. I mean,
and we did not show them any sign, but one bigger than its sister. Now, signs have sisters. Okay. And we seized them with the torment. Who did
but
we
no
seize?
sign.
Yeah, but who did Allah seize? The Egyptians? I thought that was reserved for drowning them.
We seized
And
them.
we seized them with the torment. Perhaps they may return.
Why is he back with Moses? How many times is this with Moses?
And why would Allah say, perhaps they may return?
So when he came to them with their signs, they laughed. We don't know who's laughing to begin with. He came to them with their signs. That would be Moses coming with their signs. They would be the Egyptians laughing at them. And we did not show them any sign but one. Okay, all I can think of is this but one bigger than its sister might be the rod that Moses puts down, and the snake is bigger and it eats the other ones. We seized them with a torment.
I think what I was trying to say is when he says we seized them with the torment, I think he's making references to the plagues.
That could be the death.
Perhaps they may return, but again,
that doesn't make sense.
If you had never read the Bible, or specifically, the Torah, you would not know that maybe this is talking about the plagues. All right, and they said, "Oh, you sorcerer, call on your Lord on our behalf to do as he covenanted with you. Surely we will be guided." Who is he talking
What
to?
the heck are they talking about?
Are these the Egyptians telling Moses to call on your Lord on our behalf? I don't think the Egyptians ever said that. And what was the covenant with Moses? We still don't know any of the covenants that are mentioned. All right. So when we removed the torment from them, yeah, this is definitely talking about the plagues. Behold, they broke their oath. Okay.
Okay, so this is a reference. So somebody here had read or heard some of the story. Okay, so what would happen is that is Moses would go back. Pharaoh would say, "Okay, we'll do okay. We'll let you go," and then the plague would end, and he'd say, "Oh, forget that. We're just going to make things harder for you." Yeah.
Welcome back, sister. Welcome back. And Pharaoh called to his people. He said, "Oh, my people, is not the kingdom of Egypt mine?"
That
And these
was never said by Moses. Wait, no. So this is Pharaoh saying, "Okay, oh
Yeah,
my
this is
people."
Pharaoh speaking. You threw me
Okay,
there for a second. I'm like, did I read
sorry.
wrong? And Pharaoh called to his people and he said, "Oh, my people, is not the kingdom of Egypt mine? And these rivers flow below me? Do you not see? Or am I not better than this despicable fellow who cannot show? Show what? So were it not that a bracelet of gold had been cast on him, or came with him the angels accompanied him?"
So
That
this
doesn't make
shows that Allah doesn't know that Moses was a prince of Egypt.
Okay, but that doesn't make sense. Or came with him the angels accompanied him. What the hell?
That's just Allah being a piss poor communicator again.
Man. So he fooled his people and they obeyed him. Surely they were a transgressing people. Now, who fooled? Pharaoh or Moses? Okay, so
You
when
can't
they
tell.
made
If it's Moses, then he's fooling the Hebrew people. If he's this is again Allah, yeah, bad communication, very limited
oh,
vocabulary,
this even gets
killing our
funnier.
brain cells.
Okay, 55. So when they made us sorrowful. Oh, Allah can be sorrowful. We took revenge on them. So
Wait a
we
minute, he's
drowned.
not sorrowful. If you're sorrowful, you're not going to take revenge on people.
Yeah, and how can a God have human attributes?
Well, I think that's. I'm not going to go against that concept, but
Right.
you can't be sorrowful and then take revenge.
Yeah, we
It
took
doesn't
revenge
work.
on.
There's
Yeah,
no
but here,
sorrow when you go and kill somebody.
So we drowned them all together. But that's not true. He only drowned the soldiers and Pharaoh that were following. He didn't. Oh, he flooded. Oh, that's right. Osama had said that according to the Quran, Allah flooded Egypt. Wow. He flooded the people of Noah. Now he floods the people of Pharaoh. So we made them a thing of the past and an example to others. So Allah flooded Egypt. Alhamdulillah.
That's
And
one
now
of the
wait a minute.
plagues, according to the
Yeah.
Egypt to the Islam followers, the lovers of Sharia. Yeah.
But here's the thing. How did we jump from Moses and flooding of Egypt to? And when the son of Mary was given as an example, behold, your people prevent others from him.
Again, this could be another example of seizures, but
Uh,
this is
Allah
so
never
out there.
learned. Allah never learned about timelines. Timelines are
Allah's
very important.
chronologically inept, is what it is. Allah,
Yeah.
Allah has a chronological impairment. Well, you got to remember, he identifies Mary as the daughter, as the sister of Moses.
Yeah.
So this would actually make sense. This would be chronological. That would chronologically make sense if he's saying Miriam. Wow. And when the
Yeah,
son of
I
Mary,
don't think Allah realizes that Mary came 1,500 years after Moses.
well, that's the problem.
This is
Remember,
almost Yeah.
Oh,
This is almost implying that Mary lived during the time of
yeah, this
Moses.
is Usama being kind because he uses the word Mary, and it's actually Miriam
Right.
that it's in Arabic. When the son of Mary was given as an example, behold, yeah, this is Allah's concept of chronological order. He believes, this little God called Allah believes that Mary is Imran's son, which is Moses's. Mary is Imran's daughter, and Mary is the sister to Moses and Aaron. So he believes that it's not only centuries, it's 1,000. We're talking about fourth. It's 1,700 years, 16 to 1,700 years. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, 58. And they said, are our gods better or he? Okay, I guess he is Allah.
This would be the Egyptians saying that, I guess.
I have no clue.
So he goes
Or
back. He goes back.
or
This
the
is where I'm
people
saying
saying,
this makes
or,
sense if it's a seizure.
right,
So you go.
or the, yeah, go ahead.
This makes sense if it's a seizure, because he can't. He's losing track of time in what he's saying. So he keeps talking about Moses, and he goes off and randomly says something else, which he could do during a seizure, and then come back and speak on the topic. That could be done.
They only say this to you as a dispute, yet they are a contentious people. Isa, the Jesus of Muhammad, is only a servant of Allah, but Isa is the knowledge. But Isa is the knowledge of the hour of resurrection. All right. Okay, that he is only a servant.
Who is he?
Isa. But how did
Well,
that
how
get
do we
here?
know that from this? I mean, that's what I'm getting at.
Well, I guess Allah. I guess Allah introduces the son of Mary, who was given as an example
But then
to the people.
they went back to Pharaoh.
Yeah, and the people prevented him from, I guess, for whatever. No, the people prevented others from him, and they said, "Are our gods better, or he?" Then they only said this as a dispute, yet they are a contentious people. And then he goes on to explain that he is only a servant. We have graced on him, and we made him an example to the children of Israel. And if we willed, we could make angels out of you to be successors on the earth. Ooh, I
Is
like
this a
make you.
claim that we become angels when we die?
I don't know. Okay, and surely he is the knowledge of the hour. So do not doubt it and follow me. Who's talking? This is a straight way.
Well, there's nothing straight about what we just heard. Nothing clear.
Okay,
I got lots of mud there, but nothing clear, unless you count clear as mud.
okay, who? Because I know Osama is implying that Jesus or Isa is the knowledge of the hour. But what I'm reading here is okay, and surely he is the knowledge of the hour. So do not doubt about, so do not doubt it and follow me. Follow who? Follow Isa or follow Allah? This is a straight way. So is this saying that Isa is the knowledge of the hour or Allah is the knowledge of the hour? I'm confused.
Well, it's the Quran. Don't expect clarity.
Clear as a mud pie, yes.
Thank you, Darcy.
Okay, 62. And do not let Satan prevent you.
From doing what?
Following me, whoever this me is.
Yeah, really.
Surely he is to you an obvious enemy. Okay. And when Isa came with the proofs, he said, so who's this up here? This is not talking. Okay, and we made him. Okay, so we made him. Okay, I mean, I'm really confused. And when Isa came with the proofs, he said, "Indeed, I came to you with wisdom, and to show you some of what you differ in." So fear Allah and obey me. Okay. Sure. Okay. Surely Allah is my Lord and your Lord, so serve Him. This is a straight way. So the parties differed between them. What parties?
We
So
have
woe. Somebody's having a party and they didn't invite me. I'm really upset. So the parties differed between them. So woe to those who were unjust from a torment of painful day. Doesn't make sense. They will wait except the hour that will come to them suddenly, and they do not feel.
Will
Okay.
they wait? This is so. I'm not sure if this is common language. This guy is really so lost in space and what he's doing. I mean, dementia doesn't fit for this. This fits a guy who has traumatic brain injury trying to be. I mean, the lack of clarity here would fit somebody who has TBI. I don't know. And TBI, again, for those of you who are listening, is traumatic brain injury. It's just incoherent.
Maybe the rider was dropped on his head a few times.
And probably kicked by a camel.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, he was trying to get the piss, and the camel
Yeah,
said,
he was
"Hell
trying
no!"
to get that camel piss for a drink and got kicked in the head.
Yeah, kicked in the head a few times. All right, 67. On that day, the friends will become enemies to one another, except the fearing. Okay. Oh, my servants, no fear.
Wait, what does that mean?
I have no fear.
On that day, the friends become enemies, okay? To one another, yes, except the fairy. What?
The friends of who? We don't know who we're talking about. This is a combination of con man language and incoherence. This is where I say this whole passage that we've been reading. This whole chapter is a great example of TBI, traumatic brain injury. I think the amount of incoherence here would just prove. I mean, whoever wrote this had some horrible injury. That's all I can think of. Probably had epilepsy as a result, some form of epilepsy at least. And on the day, friends will become enemies to one another, except we don't know who's fearing. We don't know. I mean, there's nothing coherent here.
All right, we got to give Sister Darcy a little, a little laughter. Allah invented the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
There you go, Sister Darcy. That was just for you. You can thank me later.
How does it go?
How about the Tawheed zone?
All right. Where was I? 68. All my servants, no fear on you today, and you will not grieve.
Okay, wait a minute. The friends will become enemies to one another, except the fearing. Okay, so now we have the opposite. No fear on you today. So the friends will become enemies. Drop that last part, except the fearing, because there's no fear on you today. Oh, my servants, you will not grieve. There's no part that no fear on today. The abrogates the other part of that previous verse. This is so badly written. Unbelievable.
69. Those who believed in our verses and they were Muslims.
Why would you believe in this?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? This is the only thing that makes sense in the Quran. Those who believe in our verses, they are Muslims. We can all
Yeah,
agree
you
to
know
that.
what? This may be the best and the most clarified. Let me highlight that in something different. Let's put it red.
You got a good point there, Sam. You got a good point, because that's true. Because the only ones who believe in this crap are Muslims.
Well, it's because they don't read it.
Yeah. That's why we're reading it for them. Okay.
Yeah,
Welcome back, Leah.
Sorry about that
Okay.
again.
No, that's
One
okay.
comment about that. It's crazy how, for example, in my family, because my family is also Muslim, they all used to say like they did the research and stuff, and there came a time where they looked between the Bible and the Quran. I'm like, did they really? I think all that they knew at that age was Ahmadidat, and really that's it. So I'm like, it makes me wonder, did they really read their book? Because when you read this, and if you dare I say, I don't even know if they really read the Bible, because if you really look at these stories and compare it with the Bible, you're like, what in the world is this?
That's why we do this. Hopefully,
I challenge your family to read this chapter and tell me, I mean, if they're going to read it in Arabic, even better, to tell me that if you have any medical professionals in your family, to tell them, I mean, ask them. You said you know a person who's a special education teacher who read this chapter and says it's an obvious indication of traumatic brain injury. Tell them to read it and ask and say different. Because I think it'd be interesting if there are medical professionals in your family who could read that and say different.
okay. The garden includes the fleshly desires. Entry into the garden is a result of good deeds. Enter the garden, you and
Sorry,
your
that's
wife. What happened? You don't,
it's funny.
oh,
It's
Wait a minute. Why are they entering with wives?
I don't
You all
know.
going to die at the same time?
I thought they didn't get wives. They got 72. Well, you can. Okay. The hadith says you will have 2 wives, and then you will have 70 hoodies. Okay. So enter the garden,
And
you
what
and
happens
your
if you have
wife
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
happily. Yeah, 2 or 3. Goblets. Goblets. Dishes of gold and goblets will go around them, and in them. Whoa, what? You gonna have goblets of gold inside you? Or in them, whatever the soul lusts for, and what the eyes delight in, and in it you will abide forever. Huh.
Now, this sounds like hell because you're talking about lust. Whatever soul lusts for. I mean, the fact that they're using that kind of language is.
Okay, but
Wow.
but listen to this. You're gonna get dishes of gold and goblets. So dishes of gold and goblets will go around them, meaning you and your wives, and in them. In them as in the
They're
people?
eating the gold, I guess.
Or is he saying in them whatever their soul lusts for? So inside these goblets and these golden dishes, whatever their souls delight in, whatever whatever their soul lusts for, and what the eye delights in is going to be in the plates and in the goblets? I don't know. In it you will abide forever. Okay, I get it. You're going to live in the garden for forever.
You're going to
Okay,
have
but
mad sex forever.
yeah, I know Bubs is very excited. And this is the garden which you inherited because of what you were doing. I don't know. What were you doing? Blowing up people? You will have in it much fruit. From it, you will eat. What else am I supposed to do with fruit except to eat? But remember, you will not poop, you will not piss. This is 100% thermodynamic efficiencies. But I thought the laws of thermodynamics says energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only change form. So when you eat, what does it
Well,
become?
I'm talking about spiritual realm here. So it'd be
Ah.
something different.
Surely the criminals will abide in the torment of hell forever, and will not be and will not be lightened for them, and they will be in despair. What's not going to be lightened for them? Torment? And we did not deal unjustly with them, but they were the unjust.
sorry. Quick question:
And they,
did you make a playlist of all this on YouTube yet?
what do you mean a playlist? As
Like
far as the episodes?
So you know how you make the episodes and then they're posted? Add them together in one playlist as you go. Each
Yes,
episode.
yes. And
Okay.
now they do say episodes. Episode 1, episode this, episode that. It's
Would
in a
you want to do
playlist
a
called Dissecting the Quran.
Would you want to do a Bible reading after this series? I know it's far fetched.
Tonight? Not tonight.
No. Like after
Oh.
the entire Quran is done, would you want to do?
I'm gonna need something to do because I'm gonna be lost here.
And then if you read it, you can compare. Then maybe or something like that.
Yeah,
But
we can do that.
read it,
Yeah.
and in the same way, for example, you examine the Quran.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did do a
I
comparison
mean
of Abraham.
that's unfair. That's unfair. That's like nothing is as bad as the Quran.
That's like that's like comparing a kindergarten a kid from kindergarten with a professor in college.
I mean, I work in the publishing industry as well, so I can tell you, I've never seen anything close to as bad as this. I mean, except for the only thing that could come close is a copy paste chapter. That would be something I've seen, but you know, the guy who sent his book to me like that didn't know he paid a Filipino to write him a book, and he never looked it over. And he sent it to me, and I like, you realize you've got chapters wholly copied and pasted in here? He's like, what? Like, I says, yeah, you paid somebody and they scammed you. Like, okay. Yeah.
All right, I think we might finish this chapter. Okay, so okay, 77, and they called old Malik, which means according to Sama, keeper of hell. All right, so, O keeper of hell, may your Lord make an end for us. He said, surely you are staying. Indeed, we came to you with the truth, but most of you, but most of you to the truth are haters, or they have schemed an affair. So surely we are scheming. Who's scheming?
No, I find this interesting again. Most of you, he doesn't know who. I mean, they have schemed an affair. I thought Allah was the best of schemers.
But
Is
who's
it saying that Allah
right?
is not the best of
But,
schemers?
but who's scheming here? Allah or Malik?
That's a good question. Allah could be
Right.
a they. I mean, I would think it wouldn't be Allah because they're using the word they. I don't know.
Okay, so okay, indeed we okay, all right. Okay. 80. Lost my okay. Or do they think that we do not hear their secrets and their private talk? Well, private talk and secrets would be pretty much the same thing. If it's private, it's secret. Yes. And our messengers with them are writing it. Uh-oh.
There's a stenographer sitting down and
Yeah, but if Allah's messengers are writing, if Allah's messengers are with them, are writing it, are Allah's messengers in hell? Who's he talking about? Or is he talking about the messengers, when the messengers came to the people, they were writing down what, their secret private talks?
I
If
think
that's
they're
the case, that
really on target here because we were just talking about hell. We're talking about the people in hell. It sounds like Allah's spying on people in hell, which would mean Allah has to be in hell. Oh, wow. He has messengers going to hell.
or the messengers are writing the secrets of the people, which means that Muhammad could write.
Well, no. It says messengers. It doesn't give his name.
Yeah, but you know, he
Probably
is part of
everybody but the lowly Muhammad, who is so much lesser than all the other messengers who could write.
All right, far be it from Allah to have Jesus for a son. Say, if to the merciful was a son, so I would be the first to serve him. Who's talking? Praise be to the Lord of the heavens and the earth, the Lord of the throne, from what they describe. What does that mean?
You know what's funny about that passage about far be it from Allah, etc., is I like to say, for example, if a person comes and says that Allah can't, be a human or come into His creation or do whatever He wants, then, you're making yourself God and you're making yourself knowing what He is able and not able to do. But He's the one that created the person. Now, it's funny how the Quran is saying that. So the Quran knows more than Allah.
Could be. I think just about anybody knows more than Allah. All right, 83. I think we're gonna. Yeah, I think we got enough time to finish this. Yeah. What we got? 15, 10, 14 minutes. All right. So leave them to engage in sports until they meet their day
Are they
of
talking
which
about
they
having
are
sex
from.
again?
Like, put them on the volleyball team.
Yeah, could be. And he
I
is
thought
Wait,
who.
is this
I thought
is
anytime
this like
Allah would mention
why
sports, he's
there's so
talking about
many
sex,
Muslim
wife, and
football players out there? Like you have
I,
like this prominent Mohammed Salah, everybody's praising because
yeah.
he leave to engage in sports until the day he's promised.
Okay, 84. And he is who in the heaven is God's, and on the earth is God. But Allah never comes down to the earth. So how can he be the God of the earth? And he is the wise, the knowing. And blessed is he who has the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, and what is in between them. And with him is the knowledge of the hour, and to him you will return. So I don't think that this was saying that Jesus had the knowledge of the hour, although that is what Osama said, but you know, I think it was referring to Allah. All right, 86. And those who call without him and do not have the intercession, except who witness with the truth, and they know. And they know what? Somebody please tell me.
we
And
can't tell from reading this, that's for sure.
and if you ask them who created them, they will say, they will surely say Allah. So how then are they turned away? I don't know. Could be reading the Quran. They said, hell no, man. I like to keep my brain cells. And he said, oh Lord, surely those people do not believe.
if they just said, if they just they just said that Allah created them, now he's turning around and saying, "Oh, those people don't believe." So he had all those people believing in him, and now he's condemning them. Same people.
Okay, now 88 is kind of funny.
Well, they were
And
not
he's
engaged in sports, Paul. That's why.
yeah. Okay, so now 88 is kind of funny. I'm having a little difficulty
It's
with
from
this
all that
one.
sweaty activity. That's what it is. Allah got
It,
work. Allah just got too tired from all that, and he couldn't recognize the people who did and didn't believe him.
okay, so 88 is really causing me some mental anguish here. And he says, I don't know who he is. Oh Lord, surely those people do not believe.
That's what I'm getting.
So
That's what I'm laughing about. This is it. I mean,
so forgive them. So if this is Muhammad speaking, he is saying, "Oh Lord, surely these people do not believe. So forgive them and say peace." So Allah is going to say peace, so they
but
will know.
so if you look at 87 and 88 together, you have these people. If you ask them who created them, they say Allah. So how are they? And then at the same time, you look at 88 and it says, "Oh Lord, those are people who don't believe." If Muhammad's talking, he knows more than Allah. This
Yeah, but
makes the sock puppet real.
but wouldn't this imply that it's saying for uh um for Allah to say peace to the people?
Well, it makes Allah submissive to
Or is
Muhammad.
Allah or is Allah saying for Muhammad to forgive them and to say peace so they will know?
You can't know, unfortunately. But you got, and he says that would be Muhammad, right?
I would think so.
Oh Lord, surely those people do not believe. This means Muhammad knows more than Allah.
I mean, I would think so.
But you know
Okay,
what?
so
There's a bigger picture here, because this is actually proof that Muslims do not read their own Quran. Because this, like, I've been debating for the last hour before I came here with these Muslims on Clubhouse, and they were like, "No, no, doesn't say anywhere in the Quran that you can kill apostates. Where does it say in the Quran you can kill apostates?" Well, yeah, I would give them 5 for free, and they would be like, "It doesn't say word for word." No, it says to your religion, to me, my religion. Like, they always say that. But if they actually read their Quran, they would be like, you know what? In 43, 88, and 89, it says, if people don't believe, you can forgive them and say peace. So peace out, brother. They would never say that. I mean, this could be a good argument for them. If they're gonna say that Islam does not allow apostasy, killing laws. So, but they never go to this verse. I
And
never
the
have
people
actually,
heard,
who,
heard
I
anyone
mean, a
say this.
lot of Islam is just based off Sharia. It's not based off of the Quran. It's not based off the Hadiths either, and they don't know that. I mean, so I think it'd be a great room to open up with. Where does the concept of banging your head on the ground? Where's the concept of prayer come from? Show it to me in the Quran.
yeah.
Show me
Hey,
where the
Paul.
rakas are. It's not
Yeah,
there.
Paul, can you do me a favor and bring up the next chapter title so that
Yep.
we can save it?
Highlight it.
No, just bring it up. It'll show up. Okay, so the next chapter that we will be reading, what's tomorrow? Sunday? Yeah, tomorrow at 3 o'clock will be called The Smoke. I'm telling you, man, the person was, and it starts off by a word with two Arabic letters that don't mean anything. I swear to
It's
clear book.
smoking hot.
Okay, so we are in chapter 44, so that means we got 70 more chapters to go.
Thank you, God.
I know, and let me tell you, they're getting smaller and smaller. There's some
So
chapters that
we
are
will
only
have
11
a relief
verses.
from killing our brain cells pretty soon.
So let's see, chapter 44. Now let's look at here in my little. Chapter 44 has 59 verses, so we surely should be able to finish that. Chapter 45 has 37, so basically 96 verses. I think we might be able to knock off two chapters tomorrow, 44 and 45.
Sounds good.
And then everything is easy peasy. I think the next one that's the most is chapter 56, which has 96. Then everything else is under 30 until we get to chapter 68, which is 52. Chapter 69 is 52. Then it goes down to 44, and we go and we drop below 30. Okay, then we bounce back up to 56 in chapter 74. So, yeah, I see it's being done probably before Thanksgiving, depending on how many shows we do per week. If I do 4, I think we'll be finished by the end of November.
It says something
Maybe,
about this. Yeah.
maybe I can end this on my birthday. That would be an awesome celebration. So, got to get this done by November the 23rd because that's my birthday.
Okay. Well, that's my son's
Right.
birthday.
Oh, it's your
Oh,
son's
no,
birthday.
his is 24th. 24th, sorry.
Okay, that's close enough. We can celebrate. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Hey, can I share my screen? Let me stop, and I want to
Yeah,
share a
sure. Yeah.
screen. My dad, who recently died, let me just pull this up, see if I can put it up to a full screen just a second. All right.
My condolences, by the way.
Let me see if I can pull this up to a full screen.
Hey, Paul, I don't know if you saw my email too.
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me just change this for just a second.
At the same time, my grandma passed away too, around the same time that Dr. Fisher told me.
Make this. I got to get out of that screen. Okay, there we go. I'll make this. There we go. Okay, I found it. All right, let me pull it back over here. My dad was a music teacher. He taught for over 30 years, and he loved music to the point where anytime he got a chance to share, he was a pianist and he played. Come on, work. Oh, it's not going to the right screen now because I moved this. Okay. Can you all see this? Oh, I gotta share. I'm sorry. Let me, yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, let me get this back here. Let me see if I can. All right, I gotta hit the share button and go through push the audio. This is let me try it. Hold on a second.
Take your time.
Sorry, I just put this together. Okay, so let me just pull this back over here and get the right video up. Okay, so my dad, we put something together for my dad, and my sisters took the videos, and we just, all right, hold on. And see if I can move this over here. Come on. Let me move it. Oh, well, this is not working well. All right, let me try one more time. Oh, the joys. Let's try this one more time. All right. And I'm just going to, come on, stop. And let me see if I can. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and then I'll pull it up. That'll work that way. All right. The joys of playing around. You have to figure out how to do things. Okay. And I'm sharing audio, and just bear with me a second as I pull this back up. And get out of that one. And it's here. This is memories of my dad. He's a musician, and he loved to share music. Thank you for letting me share that.
Was that an old like hymn or something? It sounded familiar.
Yes, it's called The Old Rugged Cross.
Yeah, it sounded very familiar, but
yeah, my dad has a few favorites. That's one of them, and it's he's in his last few years he couldn't remember a lot of music, and there's a few things he could remember. He couldn't see, he couldn't read anymore. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, you just dropped out.
Oh.
You just went silent. You were saying your dad had some favorites, but towards
Can you hear me now?
I think it was your
yeah.
connection, Dr. Cooper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Could have been mine.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I heard him fine.
Yeah, my dad loved music, and he couldn't wait to share. He every chance he could, when he felt like he could remember piano music or something, because he couldn't read music anymore. He had glaucoma, and I see that coming down the line for me, when I hit the 80s, because he didn't have it till the 80s. So, but he always wanted to share music, and wherever he was, that's what he did. He would play and he would share. And it's a man who loved God and would always share music. His love of music he taught children for 30 some years.
Wow.
That says something. Thank you for letting me share.
Oh, no
God
problem.
bless
Thank
everybody.
you, Paul.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the show. Thank you. Thank you for watching that beautiful video of Paul's dad playing music. He's with his Lord,
Amen.
probably watching down on us and watching us do our show and seeing what Paul and I are doing. And God's probably up there, got his 2 thumbs up. All right, you guys go. So until tomorrow, 3 o'clock, we'll do it again. So thank you. And God bless everybody. And keep Paul in your prayers, and also Sister Leah, who also lost someone. It's not easy.
No.
But you know what? I'd rather, I'm glad that my parents went before me, because it's really tough for a parent to lose one of their kids. It was very tough for my brother and my sister-in-law when they lost my nephew. I mean, it was very tough for me for years. I was pissed off at God, because here's a young kid going to be 23, thinking of getting married, had a good job, really nice individual, and stupid motorcycle accident. 2 hours after he bought a bike, he was gone. I couldn't believe it. And then you see all these evil people that are getting away with all this stuff, and your mind just wanders as to why, why, what's the purpose? Could
You
it be
know,
that his purpose was just because we were 9 years apart, and let's just say we were cat and dogs growing up. I was just a little kid, and we used to get into a lot of it. But when he became an adult, was right around the time that I was going through my divorce. So he was always there for me, and making sure that I wasn't depressed or anything. And he actually used to take me out to like the clubs and so forth. So it was like, just as I'm getting to really know him, he was taken away from me.
you know what's crazy? I always wondered why. So I was supposed to have a younger sister, but by about a year. But actually, an older sister by about a year, and she passed away at 3 days old. And I kept wondering, like, why, for example, did that happen? But then to think of it, it's the religion that she could have grew up in when it came to my family. So
Right.
see how I came out of it. So who
It's
knows if your niece, or I mean, my bad, I'm sorry, your nephew could have gone through something later, and this was just the Lord's wisdom for that time.
it's my baby sister's having a hard time with everything, and she knows that my mom had a miscarriage, and we lost what would have been a brother or sister before us, and before her. And she thinks about that, that mom's up there with that baby, and and now dad's joining them. And mom wanted 3 of us. Well, I wanted to make sure we had 3 of us, because she was an only child and never wanted any of us to be alone. And the fact that the 3 of us could go through all of this together, we needed each other. So thanks,
Right.
Mom.
All right, guys, let me end the show. And thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.